fractures. Expectations. Now, by show of hands, how many of you have felt confused, nervous, anxious in these 30 seconds that I was saying nothing? What you were experiencing was an internal fracture because you had your expectations. This is a TED talk. I should be talking. And I wasn't. So I broke your expectations. I work with extraordinary people. I work with the gifted and the sensitive and the polymaths. And what we have uncovered is that expectations are the primary cause of fractures, this kind of fractures. It starts much earlier than we actually think, if we think about it at all. It starts even before birth, because there are so many expectations surrounding the birth of a baby. How is it going to look like? What is it going to like? Is it going to be a math genius or the next Serena Williams? And the baby grows into a child and then into an adult. And it tries to fit those expectations because that's what humans do. That's what we do. If we think about it in this way, the next question can be, should be, if we are all this fractured, then what about the systems that we build? What about our families, our workplaces, our communities, our societies? And if those systems are fractured as well, how can we expect to reverse something that goes so far back and lies so deep? And yet, there is good news. Because it's far from hopeless. This was the pessimistic part. Bear with me now for a little bit. I'm a visual thinker. And I am going to get rid of this. On this hand, we have our individuals with their fractures, right? And on this hand, we have our systems with their fractures. And I want you to imagine a reinforcing loop, a self-reinforcing loop. If we take a look at the individual fractures, we see that each fracture creates instability. That's what they do. And by creating instability, it creates further fractures, because we're always trying to adapt to systems that weren't built for us. And we are trying to adapt to several systems, several different ones. Again, our families, our workplaces, and so on. So we are, each of us, fractured in ways that is not optimal to any of these systems. Now, if we look at the systemic side, we see that we know that systems are made by their parts, here, and the connections between them. So when you have fractured individuals into systems which are fractured as well, what we have is the reinforcing loop. One potentiates the other, and vice versa. It really is a terrible and, in a way, beautiful machine. Next question. In the last month, how many times, by show of fingers, how many times have you felt pure joy, unencumbered, you were happy? 1, 2, 10 for the very lucky ones. I see a couple of hands. I see 10 fingers over there. Oh, wow, okay. Good. That, yeah. And now think carefully. How many of those times, and just leave those fingers up, were not in connection to anyone? It was joy by yourself. You were completely autonomous. In general, I see not nearly as many fingers, because this is the key. True connection is what heals fractures. Let me tell you a story. I was, some days ago, not long, I had a very long day. We all know this. I had several sessions, many calls, and I was drained and I was scattered at the end of the day, and I just wanted to exhale. My children came from school, and my son comes to me and he wants to play. And I had to tell him, or I thought I had to tell him, I cannot play now, sweetie. I'm really tired. And he looks up at me. He still looks up. He's still smaller than I am. And he tells me, we don't need to. I just want to be with you. We can just cuddle, was his suggestion. And in this moment, I saw it again, that connection is something much more than something that we do. It is something that we allow. Because he was not asking me to perform or to do anything. He literally just wanted to be with me. True connection heals fractures. And the compass that points us there is joy. I didn't do this alone. I don't do this work alone. Not even this talk. It was done in joy and connection. And I want to give you something. It's an invitation, and it's a script. It's a please try this at home script, as a disclaimer. So tonight, or tomorrow, whenever you feel like it, when you go home, speak to someone, talk to someone, really talk to someone that you love. And when you notice the tiniest bit of judgment coming up, it will come, the should'ves, the why don't yous, the it's always the same as, they will come up. And when they do, catch yourself, stop, and think to yourself, these shadows only exist because the light in this person is real. And you do this as often as you need to. And by doing this over and over and over again, what you are in fact doing is you are unlearning expectations. And when you unlearn expectations, it's not easy, but you are starving judgment. And when judgment fades, what remains is connection without condition. And connection without condition, my friends, that is unconditional love. That's it. And whenever we experience these moments, and it is about us, when we experience these moments of connection without condition, we remember who we become. So you have a script. You can try this at home. And we jump into a different question. It's all going to make sense in the end. Who knows here what Kintsugi is? If you don't, it's fine. I'll explain anyway. It's part of the talk. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. And what it does is turning a potentially ordinary object into something unique. Now, I said that expectations create fractures. And I also said that love repairs them. It follows, love is the gold. And it doesn't hide the fractures. It illuminates them. It marks them. It says, this mattered. And because gold is a wonderful conductor, it will carry this forward to the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and to all the systems that we build. When we think about fractures making perfect things, I always think, and I want to show you this because everything is connected, this work of a Swiss artist who took 999 stills of the light of a broken lamp outside on the street, just in front of his house. And with those 999 stills, he made this. He took something broken, and this is a simple concept, and he turned it into something beautiful and perfect. Because, again, we are all connected. Everything is, and we are part of everything as well. Last question of the evening, well, of my talk. Who here likes to imagine the future? And you're here. I expected that somehow. Let me show you one of my favorite futures. Again, visual thinker. Here we have our individuals with their fractures, right? And we are going to heal all of them, one by one. It's a gradual process. We are going to heal them with gold, with our gold. And this is going to increase the amount of gold, soon you'll see where, but in the individuals themselves, and it will increase clarity, resilience, and authenticity. We now take these individuals and we plug them into the systems. And because gold is such a great conductor, it is going to start healing the systems themselves. And for all of my talk of gold here, the best part of all this is that it's free. It costs nothing. You don't need any money to do this. You need courage and you need persistence. Because this is actually the only expectation that we need. It's the expectation of a future where we all fit. So imagine with me, all of us free, integrated, and acting from flow instead of lack. No more rat race. Gone. Imagine systems that are pliable enough to allow for all of us, with all our parts, and to connect them imagine leadership, which is heart-driven, brave, and connection-based. And if you can imagine this, you can build it. We can. Because that is it, isn't it? The future that we imagine is the future that we'll have. And if you take nothing else from my talk today, nothing else, let it be this. The future that we imagine is the future that we'll have. And if we are so daring as to imagine that future, gilded with the gold of all that we've healed, it might very well be that we are then finally stronger than before. And in that strength and in that future, this is who we become. Thank you.